Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Friday here. This is February 16th. So I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend coming up. And for virtual horse racing, for what we do, I hope everybody has a great time on the track and good luck out there in the races. So listen, I'm going to go over the breeding hub once again. You can refer back to the first video I did on the breeding hub, which is basically an overview or a quick peek at what we're trying to do. We made some slight adjustments, so I'm just going to cover them real quick, and I'm just going to go over it quickly. I'm not going to take as much time as I did last time with the breeding hub, but I want to just go over it real quick because we're getting ready to release it for everybody to use, and I just want to get people familiar with it and people more familiar with it. And then we're also going to add a link to this video to the new tutorial video section. I'm not sure under what link, but it'll be in the Learn to Play tab, and the at the bottom right there'll be a help section for videos, and we'll place the video there as well. Real quick though, please like the video, hit the notification bell, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We still have a lot of views on our channel that are not subscribers, so please do that. Again, we are a virtual horse racing game. Breed, train, win. Registration is free. You get free horses, free game credits. You can join today, race tomorrow. Tell your family, tell your friends, and you can also join our Discord community. Very nice folks on there to help you get up and running faster. So anyway, let's get right into it. Enough of that. Snap this off. Let's go here, and I will drop myself off the screen so we can see it better. So this again is kind of what the main hub looks like, and as you can tell right away, if you watched the last video, we have added a couple new tabs, so we'll cover that first. So right away, the this tab here to the right, leased stallions, and then below that, leased mares. Now it will show the list of any stallions or any sires or any mares, brood mares that you have leased from the public but you have not used yet. So before, when you would go ahead and lease a broodmare or a sire, you actually didn't have a list that you can reference to unless you started the breeding process. Once you started the breeding process, then it would populate and show you the broodmares or sires that you have leased from someone else, and they would stay there until they were used. Which again is new, unlike before where you could not lease a horse ahead of time. You had to always choose a horse while you were already in the breeding process. Now you can kind of just lease as many as you want ahead of time, and they'll be there ready for you. So the first thing you notice is here in this tab, leased stallions and leased mares. That'll show you leased horses. So if I click on this, it'll show me the horses that I have leased, and obviously you can see there's no options. You can't click on anything, you can't choose it, but it's there for reference. You know it's there once you go into breeding. You can click on the horse though and look at the information. So that has been added. Now again, just to quickly go, same thing with the mares. Obviously it's a leased mare list, and you can see what has been leased. So real quick, like I said, we're just going to go over this real quick because we're going to release this, and just it's kind of a refresher. You can always reference the first video. So please read through all this. Eventually I'm going to take away all these notes here so it doesn't look so busy, but I think it's important for everybody to read through it. And the main things to remember are that the entire breeding process starts with start breeding, but in order to start breeding, you have to have stallions or mares already listed. So in order to list a stallion, you click My Stallions. Okay. You can click Add Stallions. And then you can choose the stallion you want. You click on it. Or you can choose 5, 10. Doesn't really matter. You can click as many as you want. You click Add. And it is now added it right here to your breeding hub, right? It's as simple as that. Now that's just adding it to the breeding hub. And once they're added to the breeding hub, they're available for you to use personally. It's not listed to the public yet. As you can see, we haven't listed any public breeds. That would be in this area here, list for publics. We haven't done that yet. So anyway, we're going to go back to the hub. We're going to do the same thing with the mare side. We're going to add a mare. And let's just choose this one, a bit of both. As you can see, it's here. It's now in your hub, right? Now we'll back it. So now once they're in there, they stay there unless you remove them, right? So you just have to do this one time. We covered that already. And like I said, the start breeding process is here. You click start breeding. You choose your mare first, always. In this case, what it's going to do is show you all the mares that you have leased from the public and all of the mares that you have placed personally into the breeding hub. So, you know, in this case, I have, actually, let's try something new while we're in here. Let's try breeding a mare that I have leased to a sire that I have leased. I didn't even know that was an option. Maybe it isn't, but let's check it out. So let's choose this Duru. And now let's choose colors. Neither one of these horses I owned. I leased both of them. And let me breed them together. And it's letting me do it. So this to go back too fast. So again, start breeding. We're going to choose a mare. Continue. Choose a sire. Continue. Final step. Choose your EC nom, your age, and breed. And it actually let me breed it. It actually let me breed a sire that I leased and a mare I leased, and I didn't own either one of the horses. Now, that's wild. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad, or I didn't even think of that. That's just something I just thought about doing while I was here. So, I mean, I think it let me do it. It did. It's right here. Click on it. So anyway, go back. You can go to breeding history and see everything that you've bred. We'll click on it here. And that is the horse that we have bred. We have bred a 92.5 rated horse. Wow, interesting. I didn't even expect that. But anyway, that was kind of cool to go through. Let's go back to the main hub. Again, we'll go through the same process. You say, I want to start breeding. You're going to pick a mare from either the lease mare side or your own mare side that are listed. Pick your sire, pick the age, whatever, and you're done. That's that fast, right? So, let's say you want to lease something from the public that you haven't already leased. So you already have horses that you've leased, but let's say we want to go ahead and we want to lease another one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to public stallion list. Here's all your sort and search stuff here that you can use to help narrow down your choices. But we're not going to use any of those. We can go back to the old video if you want to see some of that. And I'm going to go and I'm going to look for something lease. Let me look for something cheap. And I'm going to, I can't do any of these. Let me, why are it already leased colors? It's not letting me lease it again. Now, I did notice that. Once I've leased it, it's not letting me, unless that means that there's no breeds left. So let me see. Let me go back here and go, okay, breeding's available. I'll click yes. Filter. Let me see if that horse is still there. It is still there. So I'll have to ask them about that. Why it's grayed out after you've leased it once, you know, not letting you lease it again. So something to look at real quick. But let's say anyway, we're not going to go through the process. Basically, you would choose a horse. I would click on here, Dazzling Citizen. I would lease it. I would click lease. So that's how you would lease a horse. So again, find a horse, click the button, go down to lease. You'll lease it, right? And then if you go back to your you know, you want to check it out, you go to lease stallions and you'll see that it's in your lease stallions. Same thing with the mares. It's the same way you would lease it. And obviously, like we just went through, if you're in the start breeding process, you'll see the mares and you'll see the sires listed, right? Now, what if you want to list one of your own horses for the public to lease, right? So you'll just go into My Stallions, since you've already had the stallions listed. You already have them here. And I'm going to click on DD Accelerate. I'm going to say I'm going to offer one breed to the public. And my price is going to be 20,000 game credits, which is the equivalent to $20 USD. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and update, right? And now I have placed this horse on the public page. Now, if you want to check that, just go to the public stallion page. And now you can see my horse right here, DD Accelerate, is listed for stud for 20,000. I can't lease it. Obviously, I own it. But if someone else was on the public page, they could actually go in there right now and lease that horse for 20,000. Okay. Now, I don't want that horse up there right now, so I'm going to go remove it. And it's as simple as this. So I go into here. I click remove on DD Accelerate. I update it. And the horse is now removed from the list. If you want to confirm that, you can go back to the list, go to public stallion list, and you can see the horse is no longer listed. Okay. Now, you can remove any horse you want as long as the horse hasn't been used. If the horse has been used by anybody, yourself or someone else, or leased, it'll always stay in the hub. It doesn't mean it needs to stay in the public offering. You may have 0 offers for it, or may have 0 leases available to it, but it's still going to show in your hub that is there. You see these 2 grayed out removes. I can't remove either one of these because they were both privately used or publicly used this season. So it's going to stay there until the new season. That's not changing, by the way. People have different opinions about it, but there's a lot more reasons why it has to stay than you're aware about. So it's going to stay there. It's cleaner, and it gives you a better idea of what you've been doing this season, what you've added this season, what people have used this season. But like I said, if no one's used it, you can easily remove it. Same thing with the mares. If you want to go and list a mare, use your mares you have here. You're going to go ahead and list one of these publicly. You're going to click on the number publicly, choose the lease fee, and then click update. Now, if you want to add a mare that's not there yet, simply go back to the first process, which is add a broodmare. Click add broodmare, brings up your full list. Choose a broodmare, and then it'll be added to this list, right? Now, let's go back to the main hub. The other thing that we added in the meantime was the ability to reserve it. So we've added the lease stallion buttons, the lease mare buttons, and then we added the ability to reserve the horse for someone else. Again, you go into my stallions, and then you put the price in, okay, that you want to reserve, okay? You choose the total, okay? And then you click reserve, right? So, and it's dynamic search. So I'm going to say, I'm going to reserve one breed for 30,000, okay? So one breed, 30,000, I'm going to click reserve. It's going to ask me who am I reserving it for, and I'm going to go ahead and type in Bobby Dazzler, and then it self-populates nice and easily. Click his stable name, save it, okay? And now it lists here, AP Indy is reserved for Bobby Dazzler. It tells you who it's actually reserved for, okay? Now, from there, you can update that and you can clear the reservation, okay? And if you wanted to look at how it looks on the main hub, you can actually go to the public stallion list, and you should see that the horse is listed. Is it listed? It's supposed to be listed. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure. My stallions, reserved for Bobby Dazzler. Let me see. 30,000. Update. Save. I might have did something wrong, or I found a little. Or unless you got to click update, I'm not really sure. Let's just see if that worked here. Trying something new here for the first time live, so we'll do it live. Public stallion list. And okay, I just did this. All right, let's try this again. Let's try it from the beginning. So let's clear the reservation. So it's no longer there. Let's just start fresh. I'm going to reserve it for 20,000. I'm going to click save. And this time I didn't do listing it for public or any of that stuff. Wait, reserve. I put 20,000. I'm reserving it for Bobby Dazzler. It says it's reserved. Okay. Now, let's see if it's. There's the error message. I didn't see what it said. Hold on a second. So it actually did give me an error message. I just didn't read it. I think. It gave me an error message last time. We have a mystery, which clearly isn't good. So let's just say it's reserved. Now we go over here, click 1, and that's the stud feet. We're going to click update. And now it's there. Interesting, interesting. Let's start this all over again now. Let's try this again. So something is triggering it and something is not. So let's clear the reservation. Okay. Let's go back to 0, back to just the default, right? This is updated now. We're going to reserve AP Indy for Bobby Dazzler. Put the quantity in. Put the price in. Click reserve. We're going to go Bobby. Pops up Bobby Dazzler. We're going to save it. Doing it this way says it's updated. It says it's reserved for Bobby Dazzler. Now let's go back to the public stage pages, and it's not there. So maybe what it is that the update button has to be clicked, since that's what controls everything that the code is looking for it to update. Everything's the same, but this time we're going to click update. And there's the main hub. And that's what it is. Okay, so we figured it out. It's no longer a mystery. Okay, so what we'll have to do is add something there as, some kind of, like when you hit, you might think when you click update for this reserve thing that it's reserving it. But I guess what it's doing is a secondary step to make sure that you add these totals in here. Right? Because if I clear the reservation, we'll have to figure out what the best way is, what works best. But if you go to the main hub and I go My Stallions and I want to reserve this horse, and I just click reserve and I go I want to reserve it for Bobby Dazzler, and I'm not paying attention to how many or what the price is. I say, okay, I've reserved it. And it doesn't appear. They want you to make sure that this information here, how many of you've added and how many and what the fee is updated. So in order to do that, you'd have to click update, like you're finalizing the step, and then it appears. We'll rethink that and think about what the best way is to do that, because I think it's best to let the people use it and see how they would naturally use it and what their expectations are as far as the process goes, as far as your click process and what you think is the best way to do that. But anyway, the point is that the ability to reserve a lease now is there. You have to, it's interesting though. If I just go through the same process as if I'm listing a horse, it's the same process, right? So if I'm listing a horse, then I need to list how many I'm listing, the price, and I would click update, right? So you would think it would be the same process. So maybe I'm overthinking this. The same process would be, I'm going to reserve 2 breeds for 30,000. I'm going to list 2 breeds for 30,000, and I'm going to reserve it for Bobby Dazzler. And I'm going to click save. I'm saving who I'm reserving it for, and then click update, because that's what I would do if I was listing a horse. That's what I would do. I would click update. And then if I go to the public stallions list and it's there. So it actually probably works the way it's supposed to work. Maybe, yeah, I mean, it works the way it's supposed to work. You just have to, now if I clear the reservation and it still says listed and listed, I wonder if I don't update anything, if it's there. Nope. So it's listed now publicly. After I cleared the reservation, it's now listing it open because I haven't removed it. I left this here. Maybe I add code that if you list it, if you reserve it and you want to clear a reservation, that it automatically zeroes the entire line out. Like it refreshes it to zeros. I think that might be the best way, because I think people will probably forget that they cleared the reservation and then they forgot to change these totals. I could probably save people a lot of time and angst by just going clear reservation and then it refreshes the way it just does now, but it changes this automatically to 0 and this back to the default of 1,000. I think that's probably the way I'm going to have to do it. And as you see, it's removed. So, all right. So what did we learn? We learned that you need to read through this. We learned that you have to add your stallions and mares and so on before you can start breeding. We learned that you can lease sires and mares before you start breeding. You can or cannot. That's an option. We've added the tabs now for quick reference of the horses that you have leased, right? And we've added the ability to reserve for breeding. Again, you can remove horses if they are not used. You cannot remove horses if they are used. I have tested it. I have had a couple other people test it. And so far, it's been all positive feedback as far as what we're trying to do and where we're trying to get to. And I imagine there'll be tweaks to this. So when we're getting ready to release this, we'll release it out for everybody to use. And I'm sure we'll get a ton of feedback. And we will go through it in a very, in a timely manner. But we will go through it. No opinion is we may not like your opinion, or we may not decide to use your opinion on what we should change. But that's all fair. And obviously there may be some good things that come out of it, and we may want to take some of the information that people offer back as far as their opinion on how to use it. So we're pretty open-minded here with this kind of stuff. After all, we are trying to build something better for the community. It's just that not every idea is a great idea. And yeah, that's that. So anyway, again, this was just a quick recap of the breeding hub. Hopefully, you clearly understand what we're trying to do, and then when you go ahead and use it, you're a little bit more familiar with it for the first time, and then we'll just go from there and make it better as we go. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Again, subscribe, like, give us a thumbs up, notification bell, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for more helpful content, maybe even some live racing coverage this weekend if I have time. Tell your families, tell your friends, co-workers. Again, also new members. If you are a new member, in the market tab, those are sales promotion packs in there that are there, and one of the packs in there is only available to new members. It's a deposit match. You can only use it one time. I've noticed new members playing on the site right now that are racing, that have actually made deposits and are racing for game credits. You have not taken advantage of the deposit match. I urge you to do so. And that's it. All right. Till next time, I'm out of here. Digital Downs Live.